All right, everyone. It's an all signs reading. Doesn't matter what your sign is. Straight up energy reading. This is the full moon in Sagittarius. And the title of this reading, which you probably saw, I already know what it's going to be, and I'm basing it on this damn pre-shuffle and this energy. It's closing time. It's that song, semisonic, right? Whatever it is, closing time, right? Every new beginning comes from some other beginnings, and all the lines like that. That damn song's been ringing in my head for 2 days. It's freaking crazy. I can't get rid of it. That being said, that's what this energy is. This full moon is about, and it's been building up. We've been seeing it come up in the readings. It's about releasing something. Something has been keeping you stuck in the past. Could be something small, could be something big. It is releasing. Some of you will have to physically release something, but it is releasing. This energy ties directly with the energy of Jupiter moving into Gemini, which I'll pull on later in the week. And as I've said, and I wrote about it in my May monthly write-up, it's the biggest Jupiter reading I'll ever do. It is huge. There's other things going on around that Jupiter is involved with, going on around Jupiter moving into Gemini. I've been tracking Jupiter since I was a little kid. I've known it's a very important energy since I was about 5 years old. I've been tracking it. I figured out all by myself without reading any astrology books that it was about, if you average it out, it's about a 12-year cycle. And every single time Jupiter goes into Gemini, it's all about closing time. It's all about clearing up old karma and moving forward. And what's interesting this particular time, and it ties with this full moon that I'm pulling on now, okay? This moon is the end of a cycle. It's the end of something, right? What's interesting about this one is this particular Jupiter in Gemini, which it hasn't been for 12 years, since 2012, leads us in next year to Jupiter moving into Cancer, which is a reset on this soulmate cycle that's in play right now, which is Cancerian themed. So it's extremely important. We're closing out old business here during the Jupiter's transit, but right here at the full moon, it's a smaller little old business. It's about you. It's about the incoming energy. Something's been holding you back from the past, keeping you stuck in the past, holding you back from a future, or the destined future, shall we say. Okay, I'm going to be pulling on the incoming energy, but it applies to you, and we'll talk about you. If you show up in the reading, we'll talk about it here. We'll definitely talk about it in the extended, because there's definitely going to be one. This is a very important, a very big week of energy. Okay, these are big readings I'm pulling this week, and I'm not trying to discount Venus either, which I'll be pulling on, which is right between the full moon reading and the Jupiter reading. That being said, it's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you, right? But if you give a shit about the energies around you, you might want to stick around. It could just be one thing I say in any of this week's readings. Doesn't have to be the whole thing, all right? Something here is trying to get you to have some kind of, to get in line with the proper destiny. We'll call it proper destiny, all right? Well, we'll just call it that. It's applying to the incoming energies too, and I'll tell you what, here's the pre-shuffle. This reading's timeless. You're all moving at different speeds on your timeline. I asked the universe to give you the soulmate cycle with the influence of the full moon in Sagittarius, the closing time moon, okay? I've got right here, I've got the 9 of Wands, right? Crossed by the 8 of Swords. It's everything I just said. There's this, but 9s are the end in tarot. Something's closing out here. It's time to let go of something. For some of you, you'll need to actually do it. Right? Others of you, it's automatic. But it's time, we'll just phrase it this way, it's time to let go of something that's been blocking you. Right? It really has. And maybe you're confused. Why am I stuck in the past? Why am I stuck in the past? Hey, it's possible. You may be stuck in the past without realizing it. Just repeating the same things over and over again. The incoming energies here, this energy, this 9 of Wands, the release, the end of something that's blocking, is causing them a great deal of strife. Okay, they're not here to hear me, and they're not the DF side, which is a bit more evolved emotionally. Okay, but I do have here. It's up to them, but I do have the opportunity there to let go of something. The secret here is to be emotional, to allow the emotions to flow. The 3 of Cups, so that you can walk a new path. The 4 of Wands, but the secret lives in allowing the energy to flow, allowing honesty to flow through, and that's where the incoming energies are having a problem. That's where it's tricky for them, right? It is. Underneath that, by the way, that's the end of the pre-shuffle, but I just like to keep going because it's kind of funny. 10 Swords crossed by the 4 of Pentacles. What's been holding you back is coming to an end. It's closing time, right? And every new beginning, some other beginnings end, right? Justice. It's all about justice. There's a lot of justice energy here. There really is. And in fact, I have a color match, a background match with the herringbone here on these two cards. So they're tied together as well. It's about moving forward to that proper destiny. So somebody attached to you, wow, they're in their head a lot about this, having to let something go. I think this energy flows for them, for a good lot of them. This is communication here, this Three of Cups. I think somebody's definitely having, at the very least, to come to Jesus with themselves. We'll see. Let's shuffle the deck. But I want you to know about this energy. I don't give a fuck about the incoming energies, to be honest with you. You know, the DM side of the cycle, the societal energies right now, very frustrating, you know, for someone like me who flies above it all, sort of neutral, just sort of looking at things. Is very frustrating. But I want you guys to take advantage of this energy, all right? You don't ever want to be too tied to the past. It keeps you stuck. And that's not a good way to go through life. It really isn't. But let's pull on the incoming energies anyway, because we can learn a lot from them. And maybe, just maybe, there's some communication coming here. This is a big, big, powerful week of energy, culminating with Jupiter moving into Gemini, which is, I'm going to need bacon for that reading. A lot of bacon. All right, first card out's before the cut. So why the fuck are we here? So why the fuck are we here, you guys? Why are we here? 9 Cups. Proper future, proper destiny. Yeah, I get that. We're here because the incoming energy thinks that they're all set. Thinks that everything's fine. And that's where that 8 of Swords comes in from the pre-shuffle. They think everything's fine. I'm content. I'm good. It's not an energy that's coming towards me. It's an energy that's sitting. So, okay, fine. Like I said, frustrating, right? But why would you be an 8 Swords about something, letting go of something that's been holding you back, right? You wouldn't be. Right? You just, I mean, yeah, most people let sentimentality hold them back. You gotta try not to do that. You take, you know, you really do. All right. Anyway, whatever. After the cut, 10 Wands. Yeah. It's going to be hard for them. This is pressure, right? It's also stubborn. It's a lot of things, but it's pressure tied to that 9 of Cups. Somebody's saying to themselves that they're all set. I'm happy with the way things are. Well, okay, you know, let's just leave things the way they are. It's going to be very difficult. This is a 10. It's the end, dead end. It leads to a new beginning. This is the closing time moon. It's closing time. Go ahead. You may be comfortable in the bar stool or in the bar booth section over in the back, but when it's closing time, you got to get out. They're not going to let you stay there all night. I don't think, and again, I don't say anything that's not part of the energy. You're not going to get to stay. Gather up your jacket and get the fuck out. It's that kind of energy. It really is. And why would you want to? You know, keep moving forward in life. That's how we learn. Let's shuffle the deck. Let's see where we go. I got a very frustrating energy here. Not surprising. Not surprising. It's hard. I know. I can be a very sentimental guy. And I know it's hard to let go of things. It really is. It's tough. I've been doing a lot of closing out of cycles in my life too. You know, a lot of it. I don't know what to do with this here. Okay. Yeah, I've got the deck split. I've got 2 overall energies here. 10 Swords and a Hierophant. 10s are the end, dead end that lead to a new beginning. The Hierophant is something big. There's something big happening here. Just moving. This is long term. We're getting rid of things. Closing out things, cycles we'll call them. It could be a thing for a lifestyle for some people, especially these incoming energies. It's done. Something's done. Okay? It's done. There's no doubt about it. And I got a King of Pentacles that's just floating around here. Okay? So let me put that back in the deck. Let's take and make our overall. I don't even know how to deal with this here. All right. We're gonna work with half a deck. The main overall energy is 10 Swords. Okay, so we'll take the 10 Swords. We'll put it right there. We'll stick the Hierophant right there. That's what's fueling it, and our reading's on the flip. That's how the universe wants to work it. That's how we're gonna work it. Right here's the energy around your connection. I love it when stuff like that happens. The deck literally flew out of my hand. It seemed like it levitated and flipped. It's weird. Okay, it's just weird shit. Energy around your connection is here. How the incoming energies attached to you are behaving in their real life in 3D is here. Their soul energy is here. Hidden energy message from the universe is here. And it's read with the energy of your connection. Right here's the potential final outcome. I say potential because I cannot predict free will. Nobody can. I will clarify everything through some universe cards at the end. You bet your sweet asses, like I said, there's going to be a link for an extended in the description. Let's go. Energy around your connection. Six of Swords. Slowly, slowly, slowly coming toward. Slowly, slowly, slowly leaving the bar at closing time to walk back to the car where you are. You've been sitting in that car for quite a while, waiting for this person to get out of their comfy booth and come towards you. Well, we got something here that's smoothing out. We're coming into a period where things begin to happen. Okay, we'll see what happens when we clarify that. How are they behaving in the 3D in life? Yeah, changes, big changes. Look, the overall energy was 10 swords with the Hierophant. The deck exploded to make that happen. The Death card, it had to be the card that landed there. How they're behaving in the 3D. That or a tower. It feels more like a tower to me, I'll be honest. It's huge. It's changed. It's the epitome of closing time. All right? Every new beginning comes from some other beginnings, and something is ending in their life. They're done with it. These are something that's been long term. It could be a marriage, could be a relationship, could be a way they look at the world. It could be any of that. It could be changing their religion. They could be losing their religion, like REM sang. Right? I don't know. Right here, their soul. It bookends your soul connection. The Wheel of Fortune. Everything here screams change. This energy flows from here to here. It's all 180-degree turn. Everything is different. And that means that the connection can start to move again. The connections, any energy attached to you, it starts to move again. Big changes. Something that's kept them tied to the past. It could be a family, it could be a relationship, it could be whatever. It's done. It's going to be hard, 10 of Wands, to convince themselves that they're happy, that I'm content, I'm good. These are the 9 of Cups, beautiful card, minor arcana, majors here, major arcana. So this is nice. This bodes well for your connection. It is. It's a beautiful, smooth energy I'm drawing just to the rainbow. So, okay. All right, let's fix these, make them look pretty. A message from the universe. Hidden energy. It's read with your connection. Let's see what the fickle old gal has to say. Yeah, the Page of Swords. It's not the generic read on the Page of Swords. That's why I'm pausing. As it pairs with the 6 of Swords, it becomes a 7 of Swords because he's holding one sword. The little barn owl is sitting on one sword. So this energy adds. It becomes a sum. Okay. So it's actually a 7. It actually makes all of this a 7 of Swords. All right. Somebody here is I think it has been a little bit full of shit. Okay. Somebody here spies on you, says that they're not interested, but why are you spying? It's that, if I'm to sum it up, it's that kind of energy, right? You say you're not interested. You say you're never going to tell me how you feel, or if it's one of the newer soulmates or whatever it is. Whoever this is, they say they're not interested, blah, 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 but then why are you still hanging around? That's what the universe is kind of asking here, and that's the answer we're going to get, okay? What's the potential final outcome? It's read with the Death card. Your energy's attached to this. It's the Queen of Pentacles in my reading. It's my reading. The energy's reflecting for me. I then translate it to you. That's for those people that try to read the energy as they do. This is not it's different. It's on different frequency. It's coming from me. It ain't coming for you. Okay? Right there. That's you attached to that. Queen of Pentacles, read with the Death card. Somebody shows up here. That's communication. It's a page that shows up. There's a little page. But somebody here just changing their life in some way. Wants to be like you. Feels like that if they get close to you, they will be. Maybe they get real. I don't know. I think somebody here, something different is about to happen. This is your final outcome, and that's this little page coming to you. All right? All right. Let's clarify. Let's talk to the witches. Randomly at the bottom, 3 swords. Caught my eye? I thought I'd tell you. Okay. 6 of Swords. Why is it here? Okay. 6 of Swords. Tell me about it. Which we know is really kind of for them a 7 of Swords. This is going to be very interesting. We've got to talk to the barn owl there. Why is the Six of Swords here? Tell me about it. Another. Oh, yeah. The Four of Wands is crossing it. Yeah. Somebody's making some changes here. Somebody's coming your way. Wants to walk a path with you. Well, you can see it here. Those two are going to walk a path together. Right? Might have tried some other things. I make the joke all the time. This little fawn tried skunk milk, tried raccoons. Didn't really taste right. You know. We got an energy match here on some level. Although one is definitely, the DF side's definitely higher vibration. You're definitely the grown up here. No doubt about that. What's on top? Eight of Swords. Why are they going so slow? Six of Swords is slow. Right. Sometimes it's a boat with no motor on it because they're in their head. That ties to the Eight of Swords in the pre-shuffle. Right. What should be a no-brainer here. The God source, the universe itself, all the freaking major arcana here talking about change. It's closing time. Somebody here up in their head. Somebody's afraid to leave the bar and go out to the car where you're sitting. I'll put it that way. Closing time. Gather up your jackets. All right. Why is the Eight of Swords here? Seven of Wands. Yeah, they're afraid. They're defensive. They're defensive towards this. They're defensive toward coming towards you. Just using the bar analogy, the closing time analogy, right? They're defensive. They're afraid to leave the booth or the bar stool to go outside where you're sitting in the car. I'm phrasing it to you that way so you've got something to picture in your mind's eye. You're out there in the passenger seat waiting, and somebody's afraid to go out there. Why are they? Ask yourself, why are they afraid to go out there? Well, probably because you're much higher vibration than they are, and they're going to have to tell you the truth. It's the same old story. Right? It's the same old song and dance. They feel small. They always do. You make them feel small. You can see that they're smaller than you right there with the little fawn. Okay? They're defensive. And when we get defensive, it's easy to fall into Eight Swords. It's easy to go round and round and overthink things. And, there's a stubbornness here. There's a frustrating energy. I get it all the time off of the DM side. Never like this, though. This is strong. It's probably because the change is inevitable. When it's closing time, you're not going to get to sleep at the bar. You are going outside. You may not want to. You might be defensive, but you're going outside. Okay? And if they don't, if they stay stuck to the past, well, in the bar analogy, the bartender or whoever they're closing up is going to call the police. And they're going to come take you out one way or another. Staying stuck to the past is not a good move when the universe is trying to point you toward a proper destiny. You can choose to do that. You got free will. But why the fuck would you? All right. I guess we'll find out when we get there. Why is the Death card here in their life right now? I see some divorces here. I smell divorce. I smell breakups. I smell changes. I smell moving. I smell all kinds of stuff here. I smell dead buzzard. That's what I smell. Why is the Death card here? Dead buzzard. It's crossed by the Queen of Swords. Yeah, it's just, they can't, it's that truth you can't ignore energy, okay? It's that truth they can't ignore. It ties to what we said in the cut cards. It's inevitable here, all right? Somebody here might be approaching this rather cold and calculating, or rather the environmental energy might feel cold to them, all right? But they're probably, to the people in their life, behaving in a cold manner. All right. Which can lead to some divorces, if you think about it. All right, why is the, what's on top? Yep, the Ace of Pentacles. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. That's the most solid new beginning in the tarot. Why is the Death card here? Because of the Ace of Pentacles. Because a new beginning is happening. It's been a long time building, and it's here. I got 10s all over the place. I got 10 here. I got a 10 wands over there after the cut. I mean, this came out with a Hierophant in a deck that exploded and split into two pieces. I got confused. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Why is the Ace of Pentacles here? Page of Wands. Yeah. I mean, you talk about, look, I said they showing up as a page. This card is read with these. There's your little page. It's not a Page of Pentacles, but it is which is what this fawn is, but it is a Page of Wands. And it's here because that's here. Because somebody here is starting anew. There's something ending in their life. And they're defensive about the fact that they've got to come toward this connection, probably because even if, let's say it's a runner, a long-lost runner, they've got to then confess that they liked you the whole time. They've got to fess up some truth, right? But if it's someone new who's around you, who's holding on to feelings, they're defensive because it brings things to a head. It's either you say no or you say yes. If you say yes, then they feel stupid for having waited so long. If you say no, then it's definitely over. Then all these changes were for nothing or meant nothing, or they don't know where they're going then. And it could be any of that and more. All right. Wheel of Fortune in the soul. That's big. That's huge. All right. Now, flew out of the deck. Flew right out of the deck. High Priestess, yeah, I believe it. It's crossed by the King of Swords. I had the Queen of Swords here. I was just about to say, I know you don't believe me, I don't care. I was only drawn to the perched bird here. I was going to say, I think they're arguing with themselves, and they are. I've got King of Swords crossing the soul and Queen of Swords crossing the 3D energy. Those two crossing swords. It's fighting, it's arguing. They're arguing with themselves. And all the while, the soul is just flowing. It's going, the High Priestess energy here. Everything they've kept down is now coming up. I get it. Why is the High Priestess here? The Queen of Pentacles. That's the Queen of Pentacles right there. So again, this ties to the soul as well. So it ties to here and here. Yeah, it's somebody admitting some things to themselves. I won't call it arguing with themselves, but they're having to admit some things to themselves. Some things that are over on their side. It's like in my bar analogy, the person sitting there who's afraid to go out to the car and leave has to admit that they're going to have to go out and leave. The writing's on the wall kind of energy here. All right. They are very intimidated by you, by this connection, by the feelings that this connection brings up in them. Any of that or all of that. Okay? Let's do it. Let's talk to the universe. Page of Swords. Why is it here? Now, this Page of Swords might as well be a Seven of Swords. All right? Because this energy is still bleeding in. They're like attached. So, let's see. Why is the Page of Swords here? Why is this Page of Swords a Seven of Swords? And I don't think it's the generic answer of, again, somebody here lying to themselves about how they feel about you. I think this is more about them. Yeah, it is. It's crossed by the Ten of Cups. Somebody here has to admit that they got happiness wrong or they got love wrong. Somebody here has to admit that when they close their eyes, they think about you. Yeah, that's there, but also there's a deeper meaning here. Where is it? Yeah, the Strength card. Somebody here has to pull up their big boy, big girl pants, their heart chakra's open, and feel what happiness actually feels like. Okay? In other words, we had the Nine of Cups before the cut. They're trying to convince themselves that they're happy. Actually, when they look at when they allow the flow of this connection to flow, they feel real happiness. This is not one of those pie in the sky Ten of Cups. It's real. All right? Because the Strength card is there. Heart chakra's open here. What's on top? The Hangman. Whole new perspective. Whole new perspective, but also it's a stuck energy. It's as it's read with the Eight of Swords in my reading. It's a stuck energy. Somebody here is keeping themselves stuck by being defensive. That's why this is a slow, third slowest energy in the tarot. Slow Six of Swords, slowly coming towards you, because they're keeping themselves stuck in the past a little bit by dwelling on it. Okay. Oh well, I was supposed to be happy in the life that I was living. That's what I was taught. It was supposed to make me happy. People do that all the time. They get stuck in what they were told that something was going to be. It happens all the time, and it keeps them stuck. I think they come out of this. I do. We'll see. I mean, why is the Hangman here? Yeah, the Magician. They come out of it. They do eventually snap out of it. And this transforms this into this guy standing up and rising up and fighting. So they will. But just for the time being, all this change, it can be a lot. There's a lot of changes happening all over the place. They're happening in my life too. I got all kinds of changes happening. All kinds of things and cycles closing out all over the place. I mean, it's just all over. It's probably happening for some of you. If it's not, it will be. Maybe it's happening on a smaller level for some of you. It doesn't have to be huge, but even the small stuff adds up. Anyway, it can be a lot to take in, but either way, this energy transforms. They do come out of the Eight of Swords, and it's probably because these are major arcana in the base here, in the soul and in their 3D energies. Something big is coming to an end in their life. If you're wondering about like a fly on the wall in their life, These cards that I have here in the 3D with the Ten of Swords and the Hierophant is the overall energy. That's somebody who wants something new. They are sort of in their head about it, but that's these energies. It takes a high vibrational, I told you this before, it takes a high vibrational person to admit when they're wrong. And low vibrational people shift blame. So you can take that with you for the rest of your life. Forget about this. Steve's teaching me how to read people, right? You will know everything you need to know about a person by some of the tips I give you on how to read people, and that's one of them. Do they shift blame? If they shift blame, you don't have to be an energy reader. You know exactly, low vibrational person. Got it. Okay? Stay the fuck away from them, right? If they take responsibility for the shit that they did wrong, admit it, and want to move on, high vibrational person. Much higher. Okay? It's just what it is. Much higher. All right, let's go. Queen of Pentacles. So this is hard for these DMs. They're lower vibration than you, and they're going to have to admit a lot of things. They're admitting it's tough. They don't want to leave that bar and go out to the car, because when they go out to that car, things get real. When they come up to you, things get real. Whether it's a new soulmate or an old one, it's still DM side of the cycle. And I know we got a few enlightened DMs that come here, but it's just a few. All right, it's just a few. I will tell you. All right. The only secret to reading people is noticing. You don't have to be some freak like me, and I say freak with love, who can pick up on energies, has deep empathy and all that kind of crap. You just have to pay attention. That's all. I notice things that my biggest superpower is I notice things that other people miss. That's it. I notice things. I notice what someone's doing. You know. It is what it is. I always tell people, you want to learn how to read people? You want to know how I read somebody? I tell you, the closest I've ever seen is the English version of Sherlock Holmes there, with Cumberbatch playing the role, or whatever, his Cumberbunch, or whatever his name is. His character does it perfectly. That's exactly what you do. You spot certain things. Even what someone's wearing will tell you a lot about them. You know? How dirty their car is. That'll tell you some things. I taught you once about people that use parking permits here where I live, and they put it on backwards, even though it's clearly stated on both sides. This side points to the back window, and on the other side it said other side points to the back, but they don't notice it. Those are people who lack attention to detail, and they get a ticket for it. So fuck them. Right here on top, flew out of the deck, King of Cups in your final outcome, and the Chariot. Somebody coming to tell you how they feel, and the whole deck just fucking exploded. And if you want to know who's coming, it's the King of Wands. It's the Burger King. Yep, that energy, the DM side, which reflects as King of Wands or out of balance Emperor reflecting King of Wands, more often than I could possibly count, is the crossing energy here coming to talk to you, the Queen of Pentacles. Someone here is holding on to a lot of feelings. It's all going to come out. I almost called this my high priestess that's throwing up in the corner, right? All those secrets, everything's just right out. Yep. It's diarrhea of the mouth here on how they feel. And it's because sometimes when something ends, right? Think about when somebody dies, for example, right? It's a sad thing. But you will hear from people who you haven't heard from in a long time just because they need that interaction. If they're, especially people who have a soul connection with you, you may have had a fight with somebody and you haven't spoken to them in 10 years, but when a parent dies or something like that, they will contact you. They will reach out because they feel your energy. They feel the soul connection lights up. It's this kind of energy here. All these changes are making this person more sentimental about your connection than sentimental about the old stuff. And that's how this energy lets go of the old stuff. This is crystal clear. This card is Cancerian energy. It represents this soulmate cycle for me. This is the who in the environmental energy. I got the King of Wands coming to talk to the Queen of Pentacles, but in a very emotional way here. It's probably saying something that you've waited for a long time because it's attached to the grandma on the freeway at 15 miles an hour. But whatever they say, whatever this communication is, it can lead to something. Well, actually, no, it does lead to something new with the Page of Wands here and the Chariot. Okay? Things can escalate very quickly because the Chariot is here as well. This is a very powerful connection, whoever this is that's attached to you. All right? And it is one specific energy. All right. Hierophant. Wow. Let's shuffle the deck. Back to the animal deck here. And let's You pull 3 cards and a crossing card from the bottom. What else you want to tell my viewers? What else you want to say? What else you want to say? People have 2 main problems. They get screwed over in life all the time by people because they have 2 main problems. One, they hear what they want to hear, and the other is they ignore what they don't want to hear. So, you know, it's just the way it is. It's those 2 tie together. I know it sounds like the same thing, but it's not. You know, it's not. You can hear what you want to hear and still not ignore what you don't, right? You can just pick and choose. The problem is people ignore it. And they want to believe the best in everyone, and that's dangerous. I don't advise that. There's a lot of 2020 and Dateline stories that start that way, you know. Just because someone tells you they go to church doesn't mean they're not going to throw you in the trunk of a car and take you out to the desert. We have countless stories that prove that. No, you need to dig deeper into people. Pay attention to their actions, pay attention to the little things, all that kind of stuff. It's one of the things, you know, I want to teach you guys about energy while I'm here on YouTube. Teach you how to read people. It'll help you. All right. These energies here, what I just said may help you here. You know, somebody's going to be revealing some feelings to you. Pay attention to how they're doing it. Are they fidgety? Right? Did they get, if it's a text, are they taking a long time between messages? You know? Or are they just, is it quick? Right? It might tell you whether or not they've rehearsed it, or whether or not they've written it down, what they want to say, or something along those lines. It tells you a lot. And it's going to be different each time. You'll have to use your intuition, use your instincts, but it's important to pay attention to surrounding energies. And the universe is giving you that here. It's telling you, without this card, it's telling you, here's you. Somebody's coming to tell you how they feel, and it can really move you forward. It can really change things here, read with the Page of Wands. But how? How are they, who, what, you know, whatever. When we factor in what's the environmental energy around this conversation, it's King of Wands. So someone is still protecting themselves a little bit, right? With a little bit of ego. Maybe they had to puff themselves up to do it, right? Maybe you pick up on that, you know. I don't know. But either way, the environmental energy tells you things about what's going on. It's not just, oh, this person's telling me they love me. You got to pay attention to the environmental energy, which can play out in the 3D as what they're wearing. Are they are they fidgety, things along those lines? What are their eyes doing? Are they making eye contact, or are their eyes all over the place? Are they looking down? You know, pay attention. It can tell you a lot. All right, let's go. Enough. Yeah. What the universe wants to tell you? The Fool, the Star, the Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. A proper destiny. It's the base energy here. Slowly but surely, you're being directed. This is a methodical energy. Sometimes this card, it's a knight pictured at a table with a map, drawing things out. This is a message for you. You're being directed towards something. All right, something is releasing, or you're releasing something. And we'll talk more about that in the Jupiter, and I'll give you a tip in the Jupiter reading, which I'm going to wait till the Jupiter reading to give, because if I give the tip now, you're going to see 50 Jupiter readings out there with people taking credit for my tip, you know, and I don't really care. It gets a little annoying after a while to be giving everybody ideas, you know. Get your own reading, right? If you don't have any special ability, you shouldn't be out here pulling readings for people. Not a good idea. You get some bad karma for it. Trust me. The universe does not reward pretense. It only rewards honesty. You don't want that backlash. That said, you've got proper destiny here you're being aligned to. Something's releasing, allowing you to move in a new direction. But the process of this releasing from the past for you, and then so that your proper destiny, you're in line with it, it also attracts great love to you. It attracts wonderful love. It makes you extremely attractive. Also, extremely intuitive. Okay? Trust your intuition. There's a reason I gave you profiling tips here around this conversation. Pay attention. All you got to do is pay attention. Don't think about it. Just watch, observe. Don't take in what someone's telling you from a neutral perspective. Don't try to think about what you're going to say. Just listen, right? And observe Are they tense? Are they jittery? Are they shaking? You know, all that kind of stuff. You know, figure it out. And listen to what your intuition tells you about all that. And in that moment, you're technically an energy reader. You're technically on a small level doing what I do. You know, what I've perfected over the years. Right? That being said, that's your reading. It's beautiful. It's nice energy. It's a powerful week of energy. All right. If you want the extended, the link is in the description. I've got a lot to pull on here. Because I got to pull on this Eight of Swords. And this, I've got to find out what's going on. And I'll pull on you. I'll open with you. We'll learn more about what's going on with you with this full moon energy. All right. And we'll learn more about this conversation. All right. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. And that's it. Good luck.